You're doing so much on the offensive end and then showing it on the defensive end as well.
Well, he can, do it at both ends of the court. He does it in many different ways, whether it's on offense, shooting that little baby hook, or making those short jumpers, blocking shots, and of course he can pass. And one of the keys tonight for Marquette is to try to make sure that David Padgett doesn't hurt them with his passing.
Well, Marquette has dropped their last 2 games after an 8-game winning streak. They are back at home now, and it appears that they have that 3-headed monster, those outstanding guards, all playing together one more time.
Well, they do, and in college basketball, we know how important the backcourt is, and the backcourt is the 1, 2, and 3 men. These guys, Matthews, can shoot it. McNeil can shoot it, and he gets a lot of steals. And, of course, James, how many point guards in America do you run alley-oop plays for? They're dangerous every night because of their guard play.
And you see the production that they put out night in and night out for head coach Tom Crean. James, McNeil, and Matthews will be calling their names all night long. We'll set the starting lineups, get this one going. Long-time rivalry between Louisville and Marquette continues tonight here in Milwaukee.
What are you
under Tom Crean? How about the Star Watch tonight, Coach? Who are you looking at?
Well, we're looking at Terrence Williams, actually from Louisville, leads them in scoring, rebounding, and assists. And the last game he played against Pitt, 7 assists to no turnovers. And then, of course, on the other side, we look at Marquette, their point guard, in Mr. James, Dominic James, in a little bit of a shooting slump right now. But when you're a great player, you do a lot of things besides shoot the ball. And obviously, he'll be looking to rebound as well as to get assists and steals.
And let's take a look now at the starting lineups for Louisville. You mentioned the Hell team starting to gel a little bit. Edgar Sosa, keeping an eye on him, second on the team in scoring. And Usman Barrow, look at his last 3 games. He has crashed the boards, averaging nearly 11 rebounds a contest. That's what Marquette needs out of their big guys right now.
Well, they do. And the other thing that he does is he hits the offensive boards. He's second in the Big East in offensive rebounding. And in basketball games, they're usually won in the lane and then at the foul line.
All right, we are set to get this game underway. Padgett and Usman Barrow will be jumping center. Marquette and Louisville are underway. And Marquette looking for a rare sweep among the upper echelon, if you will, in the Big East. They had won the first matchup against Louisville, but Louisville will say, hey, we weren't as healthy back then. First shot won't go. James clears the rebound, pushes ahead to Haywood. This one intercepted by Palacios.
And that's what Louisville does so well. They disrupt you, they make you turn the ball over, but then again, you yourself have to take care of the basketball.
Rick Pitino, head coach here at Louisville, his 6th season with the Cardinals. 21st overall, 13 wins shy of 500 for his career. Only coach to take 3 different teams to the Final Four.
And I'll tell you what, this team we were talking about earlier, if these guys stay here another year, this could be another team going to the Final Four. They've got that much talent.
A lot of talent for this Cardinals team that people are just starting to see gel together really in the last week or so.
Well, they're finally healthy, as I mentioned before, and the thing that they've learned how to do different things because of the injuries. They've started playing a lot of zone. Now they can play man and zone, which has made them a much more dangerous team.
There's Tom Crean on the other side as he sees his sophomore star Wesley Matthews score 1 plus the foul. And this first foul of the game is on Padgett of Louisville. So he hits the free throw, and Marquette is now up 3-0.
One of the keys for both of these teams is going to be their ability to communicate. Tom Crean talked about how important it's going to be for his team to communicate, especially on defense, because of the fact that they changed defenses. Already tonight, they've shown man-to-man, they've shown a little bit of zone, and they've shown some three-quarter court trap. So communication is going to be a big key for them.
Williams from downtown can't get it to go. Second chance opportunity is there, and Brandon Jenkins puts it home. Marquette had a lot of second chance opportunities on Wednesday night against DePaul, but couldn't capitalize. So key on the road to be able to do that. A lot of action in the paint. And we have a foul coming up on Louisville. And it looks like it's on Padgett, and that would be his second. Wow, that's a huge key early on, Mike.
Well, it is. And, you know, those are those touch fouls that, honestly, you wonder sometimes, you know, why they even call them. But let's take a look at it. I wish I could see it.
He's got 2 officially in the book, and he stays in, at least for the moment. Looks like Derek Character set to check in.
And, you know, is going to be a big key tonight, Derek Character, when he comes in for Padgett, because just think a few weeks ago, they didn't have a guy that could spell Padgett.
James drives, and a foul is coming up again, and this is on Padgett, and Pitino's going crazy on the sideline.
And I don't blame him,
wow.
To be very honest with you.
That's his 3rd foul, folks, a minute 57 into the game. Virtually unheard of.
Well, his isn't the drive, and you know what? I mean, there's a little bit of contact, but then again, if that's, I think if that's at home, there's no way that foul's called. Hate to say it, but I think it's the truth.
James misses the first free throw. How much of that, though, falls on Coach Pitino for not getting him out with those 2 fouls?
It wasn't Coach's fault. I mean, Derek was at the bench waiting to come in. That really was more about Padgett. He should have been smart and just given that basket away. Don't put yourself in a position to have the official have to decide whether it's a foul or not.
Quickly down court. Character finishes.
And I was going to say, the way this big guy's starting to play, it might actually work out to Louisville's favor tonight. Trust me.
Well, Derek Character has quite a storyline. Outstanding freshman, playing in only his 11th game. A little bit injury, but mostly some issues dealing with his coach, the rest of his team, disciplinary issues. He actually has a contract that he signed with Coach Pitino to keep things in line.
Well, he's a great young man. Everybody should know that. And yet, at the same time, he's young and he's learning how to adjust to the college life and the college game and all the responsibilities that go with it. And I spoke with him before the game, and he is very, very happy at Louisville, and he's very glad he's getting the discipline that he's getting.
He's dropped 50 pounds or more. Came in over 300 pounds, down to about 260, 265. And there he commits the offensive foul. Just kind of lower that right shoulder. That'll be his first.
Well, anytime you drop that shoulder, it make it very, very easy for the referee to call that foul, call the offensive foul.
So Marquette gets the ball back up. I should say trailing by 1. Steal. And a foul. Jenkins alert. And then the foul coming up on Matthews.
This should be a fun ball game tonight. I mean, it's obvious that the coaches are in it already. The players certainly are. They know how big this game is. And, you know, Louisville's trying to win for the 5th time this year on the road. And last year, they only won 1 road game.
And another foul on Marquette. And this one's going to go on Hayward.
Would you say that this is sort of like the referee's way of trying to take control of this game early, make sure that these guys' emotions stay in check?
It would be the earliest statement I've ever seen with a star player going out with 3 fouls 2 minutes into the game. So, yeah, they have control, it would appear. Marquette's got it back, trailing 4-3. Opening moments here at the Bradley Center. Both these teams tied for 3rd place in the Big East. Shot on the way is good for Jarrell McNeil. It's a 3, and Marquette up 6-4.
Well, part of Louisville's game plan is going to make Marquette shoot the ball outside. That is everybody except for Fitzpatrick when he comes into the game.
Williams has it out high for Louisville. McNeil, an outstanding defensive player, gets a hand on it again.
What you see right now in offense by Louisville is sort of like an effective result of Pitino's pro experience. They do a lot of screening on the ball, and that's where Marquette's going to have to really be tough tonight defensively and really going to have to talk.
Sosa hits a big 3, and how about the move by Character? Had it down low, good kick out.
Well, Character, like I said, he is He is one of the most talented young big men in all of basketball.
A 7-6 lead for Louisville. Inside, Barrow gets it. 8-7. Golden Eagles back on top.
They don't have many big men, Marquette, but I tell you what, the one guy that they have is awfully quick and Barrow.
Character is fouled by Ousmane Barrow. A one-point game here at the Bradley Center. Threes are flying wild here in Milwaukee. Rewards real fast. As expected, a tight game between Marquette and Louisville. Not expected, though, to see David Padgett go out with 3 fouls, and here they are, Mike.
Well, none of the fouls were really, really serious, but they all were committed. The problem that Coach Pitino or any coach would have with the foul calls is that the same referee called all 3.
And so David Padgett, just a minute 57 into this one, sits with 3 fouls. And you almost guarantee we will not see him until the second half.
You will not see him to the second half. And if he didn't pick up that 3rd foul, Character was waiting to come in. It could have actually worked to Louisville's advantage because he would have been rested. But when he comes back in, he's only got 2 fouls left.
A homecoming of sorts for Jerry Smith of Louisville, who checks into the game for the first time. Locally from Wauwatosa, Tosa East High School. His Character hits the first free throw. Tosa East all-time leading scorer. And we'll be talking a lot about him as the night progresses. Character hits a pair of free throws, so he's doing his job as his teammate Padgett sits on the sideline. A lot of minutes will be developing for this freshman, Jerry Smith, another freshman, pretty good freshman class. Sosa and Clark, also outstanding freshmen. So Rick Pitino kind of relying on the young kids, especially through the early season injuries, almost decimated this team.
Well, it did, but once again, adversity makes you even better. And instead of using them as excuses, you use them as stepping stones. And that's what Louisville has done. So now their team is deep. Their team also is much more versatile because they had to play a lot of zone. And this young guy, Derek Character, is basically now ready to make a huge contribution to this Louisville team.
Pressure applied by Louisville. Marquette brings it up. And they are down by 1 as Dominic James has it. Now the Marquette attack on offense. Ball lost. And this one off of Louisville, so Marquette gets it back. College basketball on ESPNU continues tonight as Brandon Worthy and the Loyola Marymount Lions take on the Pepperdine Waves. College basketball presented by Citi on ESPNU tonight at 11 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Love Saturdays, don't you? They start early in the morning, go late at night.
I'll tell you what, I've had a great day today, watching games all day, and what a great way to end the day with Marquette Louisville.
We've been looking forward to this for a long time. I know these two teams have a long history. Matthews outside, can't get it to go. Palacios on the rebound. Here comes Louisville now on the attack. Up by 1 on the road. Trying to avenge an early season loss to Marquette. Sosa, 3 ball is good. And it's a 4-point lead for the Cardinals. Dan Fitzgerald into Marquette's lineup.
It's obviously that Character has learned a lot already from playing with Padgett. Yes.
And a foul on Sosa. That'll be his first. 14:03 to go. Louisville's up 12-8. So the fouls continue to mount. Marquette will take it out underneath their own basket with a fresh clock. Quick inside play, Fitzgerald. Ball knocked away. Louisville has it. Push ahead. Kick back out. Back inside to Character. He loses it. And a jump ball call, possession arrow, sends it back to Marquette. Three ball's been pretty successful.
Well, also what you're going to see here is that skip pass out of the post to the weak side from Character that time. That's going to set this whole rotation up offensively for Louisville. Very, very important that you pass out of those double teams because Marquette's coming hard at you when the ball goes into the post.
Edgar Sosa, Rick Pitino chatting on the sideline. Marquette brings it up, steal. Palacios finishes on the other end for Louisville, and they've opened things up a bit. A 6-point advantage at 14-8. And another foul this time in the backcourt, and this one's going to be on Jerry Smith.
One of the things that they've got is they've got hands, and I tell you what, when you've got quick hands and you keep your eye on that basketball, lots of things can happen. So they'll pressure, and they'll make you make mistakes. This is a guy right now, Fitzgerald with the ball, that they want to make sure that the ball stays out of his hands because he is definitely the best three-point shooter.
Usman Barrow underneath and a foul. Count it, +1. And this one's going to be on Derek Character, and that'll be his second.
Well, if he has one weakness, that is on defense. He will commit a lot of fouls. And, of course, part of that is the fact that he's just getting into game shape.
Again, this is only his 11th game of the season, but he's played very well his last 2 games, averaging 12 points and 7 rebounds. But Mike, with Padgett on the sideline with the 3, a little extra pressure on Character, though, right?
A lot of extra pressure, but you know what? He's one of the best young players coming out of high school in America. He loves the pressure. How do I know? He committed to play for me when he was in the 9th grade. He was supposed to be playing for me, by the way, but he's at a...
I won't ask what happened.
No, please don't.
Inside off the window, and he's showing some stuff right there that I know you saw many years ago.
Oh, I tell you what.
A lot of potential.
Yes, incredible potential. And under Rick Pitino, it's going to come to fruition.
Louisville had a 7-0 run snapped by Marquette on the last offensive series, but the Cardinals answer and now lead at 16-11. McNeil gets bumped, misses the shot, ball loose. Matthews has it on a reload and puts it home. He's got 5.
And that last basket came as a result of the fact that Character had 2 and he stayed on his feet. Gave Matthews a great scoring opportunity. He took advantage of it.
Palacios has to kick it back out. Now he gets it back. Into the corner, 3-ball won't go. But Williams has it again and a reset for the Cardinals.
You know, a lot of people think that sometimes because you're a little small, it really hurts you on the boards. The only time it hurts you is when you don't box out. And that's what happened last time with Marquette. Great position.
And a foul before the shot. Williams saw Character, fed him, and then the foul coming up on Marquette. This one on Barrow. We're going to step aside. Louisville is up by 3. Thanks very much. 16-13 our score here. Louisville over Marquette. And it's been foul city here in Brew City, if you will, between these two teams. Here's another look down low. Good feed.
Well, it is. And as everybody watches the ball, it's very important for the big guys to be trying to find space. That's what Character did. He basically got low behind the defense. And then, of course, his teammates delivered for the score.
Usman Barrow now with 2 fouls for Marquette. Character, you see him with the towel wrapped around his shoulders. He's playing with 2 fouls. Looks like he might get a breather here in a second. And Padgett was on the bench, 1:57 in with 3 fouls for Louisville. So that's the storyline. The big guys are in foul trouble, but yet a 16-13 advantage.
Well, they are, and that's where the advantage goes to Louisville. They've got that extra body or 2, and if they keep trading fouls big for big, it works to Louisville's advantage.
Steal on the inbound by Matthews. Here comes Marquette as they push ahead. McNeil slashes through the lane, kicks it back out. They rotate it around. Cubian on the 3-point attempt. It won't go, but he'll reset that offense for Marquette. Dwight Burke also in for the Golden Eagles. Fitzgerald. Marquette continues to rotate around the perimeter. McNeil, 3-ball, draws air. Here comes Louisville on the exchange. And it's Smith with the basketball.
Once again, notice all the high screens. Every single time down court, Louisville puts pressure on you with those high screens. You've got to talk. You've got to communicate.
You mentioned earlier that was probably the biggest key to this game, so we'll keep an eye on that.
They do a great job getting the ball into the middle. That time Marquette took it away.
Cubian on the steal, tries to finish. It's blocked. Terrence Farley off Louisville's bench on defense. And a foul on Marquette. This one's going to be on Burke.
It's a big difference for Louisville if Farley is your third big man. I mean, bring that guy in. He gets a couple of blocks for you. He's got 3, 4, 5 fouls to give. Gives you a big advantage.
In this game, you got to give those kind of fouls, don't you? So
you certainly do. You better.
So Farley does his job. He plays 7 minutes a game, but he's played in most of Louisville's games doing just what you said. Hey, come up with the big defensive block, take a breather, come back in.
If he can do that, he can help you win basketball games. But keep an eye on this Louisville offense and all those high screens, which sets up not only penetration, but kickouts for your three-point shooters.
Palacios hits another 3. That's 3 here in the first half for Louisville. Marquette will get it back. It's a 19-13 advantage.
And Louisville is doing a great job after scores going into the three-quarter court 2-1, 2-2-1 actually press. Doing a great job on that.
So Haywood back in for Marquette as he inbounds the ball. He and Derek Character were high school teammates at Notre Dame Prep. All slapped away, another steal. Here comes Jerry Smith. Nice feed inside. Character misses the layup. Defensive presence there perhaps by Burke as Marquette brings it back down. McNeil drives that baseline and lays it in. Good strong move. And it's a 19-15 Marquette now trails in this game. College basketball on ESPNU continues Sunday with 2 more games. First at noon Eastern, the Lehigh Mountain Hawks face the Lafayette Leopards. Then at 2 Eastern, coverage moves to the Big East as Russell Carter and Notre Dame face Cincinnati. College basketball at ESPNU Sunday. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Louisville has it back, leading by 4 in this game. Character gives it up to Jenkins. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Jenkins, move against McNeil, and an offensive foul.
Great job by McNeil moving those feet, as Mr. Rapp would say, getting those little puppies in play. Just watch the footwork. Gets there before the man, shoulder in. Easy call for the referee.
6 turnovers for each team so far in the first half. We are at the Bradley Center. 13th ranked Marquette has their hands full with Louisville. Mike Jarvis, I'm Craig Deshawn. Glad you are with us tonight. It's been a good game so far. A bit bizarre with all the early fouls, with Padgett sitting already with 3.
Getting a rest for the second half. He will be well rested.
How about this? You don't play a game until Monday, and then 3 minutes into the game, you sit for 20 more minutes.
I'm telling you.
Look at the action underneath the hoop. Louisville comes out of there with it. McGee pushes ahead. Character blocked from behind. Gets it back, and the reload is good as he hits the deck and bounces right back up.
I'll tell you what, he's having a lot of fun. He's also a little bit tired right now.
He's got to feel a little bit better having that extra weight off his body.
Oh, by all means.
50 pounds. And a foul, and I think this one's going to be on McNeil. And look who took the punishment. Character.
Here's a call you don't see too often in this day's game, and that is a basket that they count and then the possession going the other way, even though it looked like that certainly was the right call because the ball was out of the man's hands before contact was made. But you don't see that call made too often today.
And how about Character stepping up? He's got 2 fouls.
Well, you know what? Anytime a guy does what he tried to do, and that is get in position to take the charge, which he did, that's fine.
21-17, Cardinals with the ball and the lead on the road. Can they pull off 2 road upsets in a week over top 15 teams? They did it at Pitt on Monday. Nice feed, Character to Clark. Well, I'll tell you what, he's got great court awareness.
He really does. He is really special, as most of these guys.
Williams on the steal. The other end can't finish. Look at Jenkins trying to keep it alive. Ball loose and another foul. This one on Terrence Williams. Well, I'll tell you what, it is high flying on both ends here at the Bradley Center. 23-17 advantage right now for the Cardinals. Character, a couple of assists off the bench in this game.
The NBA right now.
That would be tough for anybody to argue. To the free throw line now for Marquette is Wesley Matthews. It's the first.
One thing I want anybody watching this game at home to do is try to count the number of times that either team gets their hands on the ball. Okay, the coaches refer to those as deflections. Just keep an eye on it. See how many times either team, when they're on defense, touch the basketball that is passed by the offensive team. That could play big later on.
You've seen a lot of that already, and you would expect it would continue. This is a very intense ball game. 2 teams that have gone at it for many years. College basketball. Been in conference affiliation since '96. Character for the feed from Williams, and what a finish.
I tell you what, I think he's showing off a little bit right now, to be honest with you.
Mike, he's got 10 points off the bench as Padgett sits. They haven't missed a beat.
No, they haven't. That's why, once again, this team, the healthier they get, the tougher they're going to get. I would not want to meet this team in the NCAA tournament in March.
25-19. Tom Crean knew it, though. This would not be the same Cardinal team that his Marquette Golden Eagle squad went down and beat at Louisville. Shot clock down to 2. James fakes, fires, hits the shot at the buzzer. His first 2 of the game.
Well, that'll probably get him going. It's really funny. You know, I don't care if it's a layup. When a guy makes a basket, all of a sudden he starts to feel good again about his shot. And I think the shot that has disappeared the last couple of weeks, you may see it coming back again.
He went 3 consecutive games scoring under 10 points at 17 finally against the ball. He went through a string of 3-point drought at 1 of 19, which is almost unheard of. He's got the ball. Marquette trailing by 4.
They're going to play off, though. The one guy, like I said, Fitzgerald's the one guy they're going to be closer to than anybody else on the Marquette team.
Matthews works against Character. He steals it. Well, the Cardinals' defense has really been something. So's the ball movement and a finish on the other end for Earl Clark.
You mentioned ball movement, and that is probably, if there's one thing that this team does better than anything else, is they really pass the ball well, and which leads to good shots. Watch the... I'll tell you what, when you've got quick hands, it makes all the difference in the world.
A little stoppage in play. The officials noticed blood on one of the Marquette uniforms and had to actually check all the players to see where it was coming from. And it looks like it's coming from Character's right elbow.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a wonder there's not a lot of blood on a lot of shirts out there.
Well, it's probably hard to see in the black uniforms of Louisville, but it was showing up on those gold uniforms of Marquette.
That's where the trainer, they got those little spray bottles, and they get rid of that quick now.
Oh, yeah. And you have to.
Notice how quick they get out on Fitzgerald. Out on him as soon as that ball gets there.
McNeil misses. Here comes Williams. Quick hands by James. And he'll get a chance to finish. Oh, and a reverse.
Well, that reverse was probably for all the parents. I think this is like parent-student recruiting night. There's about 500 parents with recruits in the stands. I think that was for them.
That was for all us guys under 6 feet as well. 5'11" doing a reverse. I love it. There's your turnover situation. Neither team likes those numbers.
The big thing about turnovers is if they end up leading to points by the other team, that's when they really kill you.
And a blocking foul called on the Golden Eagles. This one on Matthews.
There's those hands again. You get those hands on the ball, things happen. And of course, when you get a steal and you can turn it into a basket, whether it's off the backboard or a reverse dunk like that, it really doesn't make a difference.
Marquette 5 points off the Louisville turnovers. The Cardinals 4 points off Marquette's turnovers. So Jenkins goes to the free throw line, 61% free throw shooter. Misses the first.
You can see why he shoots 60%. Not a pretty free throw.
So Dominic James will set up the offense for Marquette. Trailing by 4 in this game. It's been tight, but Louisville has had the advantage throughout most of the first half. Despite the fact that, again, David Padgett, if you're just joining us, picked up 3 fouls in the first minute 57.
Looks like right now Louisville's in a little bit, they're almost in a box and one, and what they're doing is wherever Fitzgerald is, wherever he goes, somebody's going with him. So the zone turns a little bit into man-to-man against number 5 for Marquette.
Farley picks up another block. That's 2 already. Log on to ESPNU.com. This online gateway will connect you to all the college sports content from ESPN, combining the latest news with an expanded collection of new exclusive materials, scores, video, and audio highlights, and much more. Log on to ESPNU.com today. We are college sports.
You know, one of the things I used to like to do as a coach is look at each position by position when I looked at stats. So when you look at this Louisville, one thing we'll look at is let's look at what the combined stats of the centers are. Padgett, character, and Fowler.
And another foul on Louisville. This one. Smith. Timeout on the floor. Cardinals lead Marquette by 4. Much, and boy, a lot going on. That's the good thing about playing at the time of night that we are right now. So much has happened, so much more is happening in our game, and Michael run it all down at halftime. Boy, Louisville has led since the 15-13 mark of the first half without Padgett on the floor, and that's because his replacement, Derek Character, has come off the bench with 10 points to help pace this attack. And at the free throw line, Kinsella can't get the first one to go for Marquette. Misses both. Louisville's got it. 4 of 8 from the charity stripe in the first half for the Golden Eagles.
Game like tonight, you got to make free throws.
Character works against Kinsella. And he turns the ball over, stepping out of bounds. So Kinsella holding his own.
He did. The only problem is he's letting him catch the ball real deep, and as long as he plays behind him, look for Louisville to go into the post.
Now Marquette will run their offense. Down by 4 in this game. 59th meeting in the history of these two schools. So many matchups with Al McGuire and Denny Crum. Both courts, by the way, and home arena is named after the two great coaches. And a whistle will send it the other way. Foul off the ball on Marquette. As we take a look at the series history, Louisville leads it all time. In Tom Crean's era, Marquette leads at 8-7. They've been affiliated through the conference since 1996. Not the Big East, but in conference play. Last foul on Kinsella, his first. 2:45 to go here in the first half. Character can't make the move, has to kick it back out. Sosa drives, it rolls out. Here comes Marquette, quickly ahead. James leaves it for McNeil, who leaves it for Cubian. And a foul.
Well, both teams in Marquette, one of the things that they want to try to do is get transition baskets, get out and run. And that was the one thing they didn't do in their last game. But here you see the unselfish play, you know, maybe one pass, 2 men.
Sosa picks up the foul. And again, the struggles continue at the free throw line for Marquette here in the first half. Sosa hits the bench. Williams back in. And for Marquette, Dwight Burke back in the ballgame. Second one is good. 27-24.
Marquette now going to zone, matching Louisville. Both teams want to reverse that basketball against the zone. If it goes into the post, skip it.
Williams over to Smith. They'd like to get it inside. He finds Character there, hangs, and draws the foul. So he heads back to the free throw line. And this one on Dwight Burke of Marquette. That'll be his second. Just under 2 minutes to go. And Character back to the free throw line.
You know, it's amazing. You look at these guys. I'm looking out at Character right now. I'm looking where those shots are, up nice and right around the waist. About a year ago, would have been down by his knees somewhere. So, you know, he's really getting in great shape.
Boy, he sure is, and he is. This game's got to be, at least at this point, his biggest workout to date. Filling in the extra minutes while Padgett sits. Misses both free throws there, though. Yeah, they need that halftime breather.
Yes, I think so. I was just going to say, legs get a little tired. Those shots start to fall a little short.
Marquette trails by 3. James tries to make it 1, can't do it. Here's Williams on the exchange for Louisville. And Rick Pitino calls a timeout with 1:34 to go. 27-24. We'll step aside, come back with a final 94 seconds. Back at the Bradley Center, boy, things are tight here. Sellout crowd. Louisville and Marquette. Louisville trying to pull off a road win against a top 15 team for the second time this week. We are approaching halftime. The Cardinals took the timeout, have the ball back. They have not scored in the last 4:20 plus. But Marquette during that time has only been able to shave 3 points off the deficit.
Well, the defense certainly is not at fault for either team. They're both doing a great job on the defense.
Shot clock down to 6. McGee has it way out high. Needs to make a move. Throws one up, misses. Rebound to Marquette. Here comes Cubian. Under a minute to go here in the first half.
I am really, really impressed with the way the guys are following their assignments defensively for both teams. Louisville in their zone, Marquette in their man-to-man.
McNeil against Palacios has it blocked, but a foul will be called. And coming up in just a moment here in halftime, number 1 goes down. Big overtime thriller, Memphis and Gonzaga out west. And a North Carolina BC update as well. Mike Hall will have all the highlights of the updates for you.
Mike Hall gets paid for that, to watch these games in studio? I don't believe it.
It's a tough job, isn't it?
It's tough.
It's been tough for Marquette free throws since McNeil misses another one.
Well, it has, and you know, once again, those are the ones that come back. Boy, they bite you, and you got to make them, and especially when you're at home.
Marquette only 5 of 11 Make it 6 of 12, 50% here in the first half. Don't like those opportunities to get away.
Well, neither team is a great free throw shooting team. I mean, both shoot less than 70.
Crowd on their feet. Marquette down 2, Louisville with the ball. They would like to close out the first half on offense. Williams down low. Nice speed.
Great pass.
Earl Clark on the finish, and Tom Crean calls timeout with 9.8 seconds to go. Set up a final play and tried to get a little bit closer as Louisville has had the lead for much of this first half.
Well, when you've got a guy that's 6'6" that can pass the basketball and is unselfish, you've got a great basketball player. And Williams he's coming into his own.
9 assists on 12 made field goals for Louisville. You like to see that kind of efficiency.
Well, you know what? As great as the pass was, you got to catch it. And one of the many things impressed me about the Louisville big men is all of them can catch the basketball.
Oh, they sure can. Good hands. Now we'll see what Tom Crean is drawing up.
Oh, he's got plenty of time, 9.8 seconds. Of course, look for Louisville to apply some three-quarter court pressure to try and slow him down. Don't let him get it right up the floor.
Last points by Louisville, their first in nearly 6 minutes. That's a long stretch, but yet they have a 4-point lead.
Man-to-man pressure here.
Under 5. Kubian, long three, and he hit it. And that's how the first half's going to end. And you couldn't have drawn it up any better or any deeper on the three.
That's right. Well executed by Marquette. I think that Louisville, from just looking at Rick talking to his guy, I think they wanted to switch everything out top and didn't. They missed their assignment.
So Kubian hits the big three, and Marquette trails by only 1 now here at halftime. It is 29-28 is our score. 2 longtime rivals battling it out here at the Bradley Center. It's been a great first 20 minutes. Now let's go to Mike Hall and Henry Williams in our Sports Center U studio.
Thank you, Craig. Mike, I'm keeping my...
Gotta love that fanatic student section here at Marquette. It is halftime. Louisville leads this game 29-28. And Mike Jarvis, a lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers, yet we've got a great ball game, don't we?
We do, because both teams are playing with incredible passion, incredible intensity, and you know what? They're both playing pretty good defense.
Yep, well, let's take a look now at what happened early here in the first half. Padgett goes out with the 3 fouls, some of them questionable, but he gets him in 1:57 to start the game.
Well, I guess he wanted to get a little bit of rest and be fresh for the second half. But, of course, he also set it up so that his teammate, Derek Character, would come in and do an incredible job scoring, rebounding, passing, and just taking up a tremendous amount of space. And, of course, Louisville, a big part of their game are their hands. They get hands on the basketball, and that basically gets them off and running, and then they can score in transition with the best.
First half stats, Louisville, almost uncharacteristic for them at 55% in the first half. Generally, they shoot about 37% in the first half. At the bench, huge production there, 16 points, 10 by Character, and the steals 8 against Marquette in that first half. And you see Character leading the way with 10, McNeil with 8. For Marquette. Marquette struggling at the free throw line too, shooting at only 50%, 6 of 12. And the big three, James, McNeil, and Matthews, they combined 19 points. And Louisville likes it when they're ahead at halftime, which they are here as we're underway in the second half. A 12-0 perfect record when leading at the break, but this one only a 1-point game.
Well, it is, and we talked about that too, and I think the reason why that is their superior conditioning. I mean, they just wear you down, and then, of course, with their defense, it's awful tough to come back when you're behind Louisville.
And at 37% shooting, generally what they shoot in the first half. In the second half, they bounce back at 47%. Padgett goes to the rack, gets fouled. And so he will head to the free throw line. So after all that rest, 18 minutes and 3 seconds of rest in the first half, he goes right at that rim here, and he will go to the free throw line.
And when you're going to foul, that's the way to foul. Anytime you foul right underneath the basket, you make sure that guy doesn't have a chance of scoring.
You see his numbers in conference games, so you see what they missed from the first half, but Derek Character filling in very nicely with 10 points. There are the numbers from that first half.
Well, when you look at that position, that center position, look at it collectively. And that's the way, I think, to judge any position. What do all the guys that play that position contribute? And even Fowley came in and contributed with a couple of blocks and a couple of rebounds.
What kind of difference is it now, though? Because Louisville had a different rhythm going with Character running that post position. What's the difference now that you have Padgett back?
Well, the difference, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of difference because of Padgett's experience and because of the fact that they have so much confidence in him as well.
Barrow scores.
Yeah, and then, of course, you also got Character now. You know what he can do. So when he comes back in, guess what? You know, your confidence factor does not dwindle at all.
And a foul away from the ball. Now this one on James, so he picks up 2 quick fouls here to open up the second half.
And also a very good job of officiating, telling James what he did wrong, so hopefully he won't do the same thing again.
Curtis Shaw, Reggie Greenwood, John Higgins. Again, our officiating crew here tonight.
Veteran crew.
Good veteran crew. On the spin move, Williams can't get it to go. Second chance opportunity, throw it away. So Marquette will get it back. College basketball on ESPNU continues later tonight. Brandon Worthy and the Loyola Marymount Lions take on the Pepperdine Waves. College basketball presented by City on ESPNU tonight at 11 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com.
You know, basketball is not different from any other sport with his offense and defense, and that is good defense can really take good offense away. And some people will say, well, you know, neither team is playing really that well tonight. They're both playing really well. Where they're playing really well at is at the defensive end.
Long three-pointer won't go by Sosa. Here comes Marquette. Down 1, chance to take the lead. Nice feed down low. And Marquette has their first lead since the 15-25 mark of the first half as they get things going here in the first 2 minutes of the second half to grab a 32-31 lead. Timeout by Louisville. McNeil goes to work down low to Hayward.
Is they want to basically go from the defense offensive end. They want to get right into their offense, and one of the things you want to do is get into your secondary offense right away. Don't let the other team get a chance to set up, and that's exactly what they do here. And of course Hayward finished with a nice left-hand shot.
Louisville, over the span of about 8 minutes going back to the first half, has only scored 1 field goal and 2 free throws, so they have lost their lead. You see Marquette's first lead since very early in the first half. 32-31, Golden Eagles, but Louisville's got the ball. Feed inside, Padgett cleans it up and scores. Louisville back on top.
All these big guys can catch the basketball.
Quickly down court, McNeil. Does he have it poked away? He lost it. And the Cardinals are going to get it back.
Well, the one thing, anytime you play against a Rick Pitino's team, and they practice it all the time, is trying to get tips from behind. And even if they don't get it, you're always worried about where are they.
McNeil got his hand on that one.
Both teams, I think, are doing a great job changing their defenses. Both teams really getting out against the right people at the right time when they're in zone.
Sosa, 3-ball on the way off the back of the iron. Battle for the loose ball. And the Cardinals get it back. Here comes Williams. He loses it. Hayward travels on the way in.
Yes, he did. But you can see what Marquette's trying to do. They really want to go into the off transition. Good defensive position that time, and this is what Marquette wants to do. They want to get out, and they want to run. Of course, they don't want to take that extra 2 or 3 steps doing it. Do you think this game's going to just stay 1-2 point all the way? I do.
I have a pretty good feeling, because I feel like it's been that way since we opened up.
Oh, no doubt.
Padgett takes his steps in the lane and connects on the little hook, and he's got 6 points here to open up the second half. So the offense going through the big guy. Matthews quickly down, blocked by Padgett. This time he tries a little too hard there, picks up his 4th foul.
You know, that's where, once again, you just got to use good common sense. You block the first one, you're behind the man, you don't try to block the second one. It's only going to lead to a foul 9 out of 10 times.
Lazar Hayward goes to the free throw line, 63% free throw shooter. Freshman out of Buffalo, New York.
Padgett's too much of a veteran, too smart to commit a foul from behind like he did there. For the team, you just got to let him score the 2 points. And there's no guarantee they're going to put the ball in the basket in the first place.
Just when he was getting in a rhythm. So how long does he sit with 4 fouls?
I would say he sits probably until about 8 minutes left. Unless, of course, something crazy happened, like maybe character fouled out.
Character checks in, as does Jerry Smith for Louisville.
Here comes that high screen action that they love to run, and then the dribble handoffs. Derek just got away with a foul there.
And a foul coming up on Marquette. And this one's going to be on McNeil.
You know, one thing that I always used to feel when I played against a Rick Pitino team is that they're going to bump you just about every play. And, you know, officials are not going to call every single foul. So that's another reason why I think they're very, very good in the second half. Officials usually have a tendency to call a lot less later in the game.
More let them play type of style of officiating.
Yes. Well, you know, once again, for Louisville, it would be about letting them play, and also about the fact now they're going to get away with a lot more hand check and a lot more bumping.
Well, the more you see character play, the more you like his game. Pretty shot there. Louisville's up by 3.
Well, if they're going to play behind him, they're going to have to start really double teaming the post. And I'm surprised Marquette, you know, hasn't done that, because they do play behind the post with the intent of double teaming it.
McNeil in trouble. Draws the foul. And this one's going to be on character. And that's going to be his 3rd. Timeout on the floor.
The fastest game on
win for Connecticut. And of course, you know, they've had trouble scoring, and they needed that one today.
Their character with 12 points just picked up his 3rd foul, and that sends Darrell McNeil to the free throw line. He hits the first. Marquette struggling from the charity stripe in the first half, just 6 of 12. So they try to improve that here in the second half. And they are 4 for 4. As McNeil hits a pair, gets him within 1 at 37-36. 10 points for McNeil. Barrow gets a hand on it, forces the turnover. His character couldn't keep his foot in bounds.
Well,
11 turnovers in this game.
That time you saw Barrow siding the post instead of playing behind the post. That's how that all developed.
And a quick look at the Big East. Pittsburgh and Georgetown tied at the top. Marquette and Louisville tied for 3rd. The winner gets sole possession of 3rd. Nothing guarantees what happens for conference buys, but you want to be in that upper bracket.
Well, you
top
do.
4.
You do. You have to get a bye if you're going to have a chance to win the Big East tournament.
Long tournament, 16 teams.
Late nights. I mean, sometime you'll get through almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and you got to come back and play the next day. So you don't want to be playing every day in that tournament.
College basketball on ESPNU continues Sunday. 2 more games starting at noon. Lehigh faces Lafayette. Then at 2 Eastern, coverage moves to the Big East as Russell Carter and Notre Dame face the Fighting Irish, and they go to Cincinnati.
Once again, those hands, those quick hands, turn it into potential fast break points, and of course that time it led to the foul.
So Terrence Williams goes to the free throw line. Hayward picks up the foul for Marquette, his second. And the first free throw is missed by Williams. Sophomore out of Seattle, Washington. Coach Pitino said against Pittsburgh on Monday, played his finest game. 3 of 6 from the field, but 7 assists in that contest.
That's right. And I was just going to say, I'm sorry if I'm a little excited, because I am. Anytime a guy gets 7 assists and no turnovers, that's a great basketball game.
He wanted at least a free throw out of that last exchange, though. Barrow, in and out. Look at character, try to keep it alive, does Williams there. Williams takes it in off the window, can't get it to go, fights for his own rebound, and a foul, and it looks like it's on character. And that will be number 4. And now Rick Pitino's got some issues. Paget with 4, character with 4. With 14:24 to go in this game.
I want to see this one. Here we go on the drive, and then you're going to see the guys going up. Anyhow, those are the ones that, oh, you know, you just say, oh, why'd you blow the whistle on that, ref?
We needed a camera just on your reaction. Folks, if you could have seen what I would have seen by the former coach.
Well, I'm hoping that I can say, you know what, that was a good call. Brilliant.
Ball knocked away, loose. Steal. Sosa finishes on the other end for Louisville.
You cannot be careless with the basketball if you're on either one of these teams. All these guys get their hands on a lot of basketballs.
At the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Marquette and Louisville in a good one here in the Big East. Mike Jarvis, Craig Kishon, glad you are with us tonight. And let me reiterate, character with the 4 fouls still on the floor.
Still on the floor. What Rick has decided is, if I'm going to have one of my big guys on the floor at the end of the game, let it be the older, more experienced guy, and that's Paget.
3 ball, Palacios can't get it to go. QB in the rebound for Marquette. He's got it, brings it down. Golden Eagles trail by 3.
You know, Warren is a great shooter, but you know what? I think he'd even be a better shooter if he just worked a little more on getting that ball in the lane. Drive it a little bit more.
McNeil leaves it for Barrow. Misses the shot. Here come the Cardinals. And Louisville calls a 30-second timeout. What's Rick Pitino going to chat with his team about?
Well, I think one of the things he's going to talk about is the fact that right now Marquette is executing exactly the way they want against the zone, and they're getting the ball into the center of the zone every single time. The good thing for Louisville is that Marquette's not finishing, but obviously Marquette has found a weakness in the middle of that zone. They're starting to take advantage of it. Eventually, Louisville's going to pay for it.
Log on to ESPNU.com. This online gateway will connect you to all the college sports content from ESPN, combining the latest news with an expanded collection of new exclusive material, scores, video, and audio highlights, and much more. Log on to ESPNU.com. Today, we are college sports. And a good one tonight here on the U. 12:50 to go. Louisville up by 3. There is Barrow taking a seat on Marquette's bench. Dan Fitzgerald into the Marquette lineup, as is Burke. Louisville has it at midcourt, up by 3. Character gets a breather with the 4 fouls. Clark comes in for him for Louisville. Sosa pulls it back out, under 10 on the shot clock. Now makes a move. And draws the foul on Fitzgerald.
I think if Marquette's going to make a move here and they're going to get any kind of, they're going to, get even, get ahead, Fitzgerald's a key guy. He's got to start looking for his shot. They've got to start trying to get him a few of those threes that he can make.
Well, he has not scored tonight, and he tied his season high with 16 against DePaul on Wednesday night. So he could be a key factor down the stretch. Look at the fake, and the shot won't go. Battle for the ball. Louisville's got it, and a fresh clock to work with as Williams resets it out to Sosa.
You gotta like Williams' ability to rebound offensively.
Louisville is hustling here on the road. Palacios misses badly. And a foul on Clark as Burke was trying to pull that rebound in. Clark's first foul. 11:37 to go in the ball game. Timeout on the floor. The Cardinals by 3 on the road over Marquette.
I'm Marquette.
The score here in Milwaukee is nearly grounded to a halt. Louisville leads Marquette 4-2 over the last 5 minutes, and here's one reason, perhaps.
Well, one of the reasons is that, when you're big and your big guys are in foul trouble, you can't just settle for the three-point shot, which Palacios is doing right now. You got to get in there around that basket a little bit. And Rick is not happy right now with his young player.
Marquette's got it. They bring it up trailing by 3. And we mentioned Fitzgerald has gone scoreless here in this game off the bench for Marquette. And he's an offensive weapon. We'll see what happens down the stretch. Burke misses. Clark loses the ball out of bounds. Had it for a moment, but couldn't collect it. Earl Clark, another outstanding freshman on this freshman class. McDonald's All-American in the state of New Jersey.
I'll tell you what, any team in college basketball that can play a good zone can win at home or on the road.
No basket. Marquette turns it over.
3 second violation, Louisville basketball, checking in for the Cardinals.
Stepped out along the baseline is going to be the call on the turnover. No foul and no basket. Things a little bit disjointed right now offensively for both teams.
Well, they are, and I think the main reason for that is because of the defense. And like I said, I don't think we give the defense enough credit when we're watching or doing games.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's the shows on offense for the most part. Here's a defense. Will it lead to the offense? McNeil finishes, and it does.
And those are the kinds of baskets that Marquette really wants to get, especially with this team this year with the emphasis on the backcourt.
12 for McNeil, 39-38. That gets the crowd on their feet here at the Bradley Center. Offensive foul called on Terrence Williams.
Well, I'll tell you what, Marquette is doing a great job getting in front. They're doing a little bit of acting, but Louisville's helping them by dropping their shoulder into the net.
Golden Eagles have a chance to take the lead on this possession. And their fans want it. It's about as lively here as it's been all night. Fitzgerald, 3-ball, got it! And Marquette is back on top. Fitzgerald's first field goal of the game is a big 3.
Well, that's the guy we said. He's got to shoot it. He's their best three-point shooter. He shoots about 45% from 3.
They are jumping and hopping because Marquette is up by 2.
Great ball movement, and of course he's got a great stroke. And you know, he's one of those guys that every time he's got daylight, you want him shooting the basketball.
(41-39) our score. 18,900 here at the Bradley Center tonight. And Tom Crean has helped turn this crowd here at the Bradley Center generally into a packed house. It's obviously off campus if you know Milwaukee and Marquette well enough.
Well, you know what? If I lived here, I'd come in just to get out of the cold. Forget about the fact that you can watch a great basketball team play and watch Crean run up and down the sideline and get you warmed up.
Let me tell you something. The 25-degree high they had today is about 40 degrees warmer than it has been.
It's a heat wave.
Let's see what Louisville can do. Down 2. They have not trailed for much of this game whatsoever. Smith, top of the key, misses. Character battles, keeps it alive. What an effort. Louisville gets another chance and a fresh clock. Character playing with 4 fouls, letting it all hang out.
If he ever decides he doesn't like basketball, he could be a pro football player. A great tight end.
Foul away from the ball on Marquette. Dominic James picks up his third, all 3 here in the second half.
I'll tell you what, you got to appreciate the hustle when a guy 6'9", 265 pounds is diving on the floor. That's basketball.
The guy that came in well over 300 pounds and is, you know, for all the trouble that he has had to try to stay eligible, live up to expectations, stay with the team rules. The guy's getting himself into shape, and it's, you know, it's easy for Rick Pitino. He said, hey, I took a chance on this guy coming out of high school. And he's trying to make it pay off. And
well, he's
talented.
He is talented, and he's a great kid, like I said. And I'll tell you who deserves a great assist on Derek character, and that's Ellis Miles. You know, the former Louisville player, went to Israel, had a serious knee injury, came back as the assistant strength coach, and he is now Derek's personal mentor, and he's doing a great job making sure he's responsible for all his commitments.
A great story, Mike. You're absolutely right.
Keep your eye on character, though. He's doing a great job getting position in the low post. And anytime it goes in, he kicks it out. He gets a little bit deeper.
2 seconds on the shot clock, and what a move in the lane. Tie game at 41.
Imagine how good he would be right now this year as a freshman if he had been playing all along.
Well, he's got 14 points off the bench in this game, his only 11th college game. McNeil, a deep 3.
That was huge.
15 points for the sophomore. Well, this is turning out to be an outstanding college basketball game. Everybody on their feet. Sosa tries to make him sit down. Can't hit the hoop, but draws the foul against Dwight Burke. Here's the 3-ball by McNeil. Everybody up as Marquette jumps out in front, breaking the tie. Now Sosa to the free throw line. He had 13 points against Marquette in the first game when these two teams matched up in Louisville. Hits the first free throw. He's got 9. Brandon Jenkins back in for Louisville. Hits the second free throw. Cardinals within 1. Pressure by the Cardinals.
You know, a lot of times people talk about execution and they talk about it at the offensive end. There's a tremendous amount, just as much execution at the defensive end, because that's where everybody, all 5 guys are involved in a play.
Here's the defense coming true. Sosa kicks it back out. Three ball on the way, won't go for Jenkins. And who's the foul on? It's a Louisville foul.
Looks like it's on Williams, I think.
Williams gets called for the foul. Here's the big three by McNeil. It's close, but Marquette is up by 1. The offense is lighting up here at the Bradley Center, but some of that's due in part to the defense as well.
Well, one of the things that Marquette has to do a good job is playing the high screen, as you see here. And when that guy comes off that high screen, not only does number 5 have to get over to help, but number 20, looks like Hayward, has to get in to help as well. It's about all of those guys, especially the guys on the weak side of the court, that have to come and present themselves to help to take away that middle penetration, which Louisville loves to do.
The 59th meeting between Marquette and Louisville. The last 19 have been very tight. A 10-9 advantage for Marquette. As you see some of the key numbers, like the bench points, Louisville a 20-7 advantage there. Many of those points by character, who stays in the game with 4 fouls. 7:30 to go. Padgett sat the entire first half with 3 fouls. Scored 6 points to open up the second half, picked up his 4th, and is still on Rick Pitino's bench, waiting for that key moment to bring him in. Barrow couldn't handle the pass. Ball lost out of bounds, and Marquette catches a break and will keep the basketball. Here's a look at the game recap, and the fouls early by Padgett, Mike.
Well, those fouls, they actually helped Louisville, because Derek Character came in, and he's been the man. I mean, he's just been the man for Louisville tonight.
He's done the job off the bench. It's back to live action. Fitzgerald just hit his second three-pointer in the last moments, and Marquette jumps up by 4 at 47-43.
I guess that means he's 2 for 2 now, right?
That would be right. Did not score in the first half. These points are huge for him and Marquette in the second.
Nice give and go.
Out the window, Palacios finishes.
Maybe the oldest playing basketball, right, Greg? Give and go. Give it up, get it back, score.
That quiets this Marquette crowd for the moment.
For the moment, you're right.
Into the corner. Matthews, 3-ball won't go. He runs down the loose ball. Marquette gets another opportunity. McNeil shoots it right away and hits the 3 from the top of the key. Golden Eagles by 5. He's got 18 points. The 3-ball has meant everything to Marquette here in the second half. And the answer, another 3 on the other side for Sosa.
And that was huge by the young freshman from New York City.
Fitzgerald takes it all the way. Score it. And the foul. Padgett. That's number 5.
Well, first of all, I know Padgett ended up picking up the foul, but it's not his fault. The ball should never have gotten that deep, and I'm sure that's what Rick is talking to young Sosa about. You have to stop ball penetration, or else you put your big men in jeopardy, just like Louisville just did with Padgett.
Let me ask you this, Mike. You saw the eyes of Dan Fitzgerald. Does he see Padgett and say, why not take it, see if I can draw it?
By all means. I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. Even if that ended up being called an offensive foul, you go at him, and you hope that because more than anything else, you're home, that you're going to get the call. And usually if you're home and you're good, you get that call.
So Fitzgerald, 8 points here in the last few moments, helping Marquette jump ahead of Louisville. hits the free throw and completes the old-fashioned three-point play after hitting 2 long threes.
He'll take them any way he can get them.
I got to give the former coach over here to my right a lot of credit. You called out his number, and he answered soon after.
Well, you know why I did? Because of the fact that there was one guy that Rick Pitino talked about, and that was Fitzgerald.
And this time, Fitzgerald picks up the foul. Actually, Barrow did.
How many guys this size have that kind of quickness? He might have hooked him a little bit, but what he did was he kept his hand in near his body, and that's why the referee didn't call the hook. But he got him with the elbow a little bit.
Can't connect on the free throw.
That's fatigue, that free throw's a little bit tired, but boy, he's playing a great game.
5 minutes to go. 53-48, Marquette on top. Character playing with 4 fouls. Don't forget that. Already on the bench fouling out. James, pull up off the window, draws the foul, can't hit the shot. And this one's going to be on McGee. That'll be his first. 18 fouls now.
If you're Marquette at this stage of the game, you're trying to say, you know what, let me see if I can get that ball and go at Derek Character, because I tell you what, I would like my chances a lot better if he wasn't on the floor.
Dominique James, his 5th point of the night. 55-48. 4.5 minutes to go. This is what the home floor is all about here. Fans have come through, and Marquette has treated them to the lead.
Barrow's doing a great job defensively in the low post.
Palacios on the finish in the lane. He's got 9.
This is where you want to run effective offense. You don't want to think about, you know, just using the clock, because you'll go yourself into a freeze. But you want to run good, crisp offense. But you want to be in the attack mode if you're Marquette.
James hits the shot. It's a 2. The Marquette leads now by 7. He's got 8 points. 57-50, Golden Eagles. Louisville's got to find a way to score in this trip. Into the corner, Smith hits a long 3, his first points of the game as he returns to Milwaukee. The Wauwatosa East High School product. School's all-time leading scorer. You know he's got family and friends here tonight.
As many as he could get tickets for.
Well, that trims the lead down to 4 for Marquette.
Still lots and lots and lots of time. A lot of possessions left in this game.
Matthews makes his move. Shot blocked out of bounds by Character. On defense, 2:29 to go in this game. What a ball game it's been. Dominique James steps up, and Marquette is up on Louisville. ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Citi. Real rewards, real fast. 57-53, Marquette over Louisville. Only 2:29 to go in the game, and this is how Marquette jumped back out in front, starting with James.
Well, they did it, obviously, with the outside shooting Fitzgerald, their most dangerous outside 3. McNeil, who's feeling it, and then Fitzy again with the old-fashioned three. When you put three plays like that together and you're playing good defense, that's when you basically give yourself some room.
2 seconds on the shot clock. James will inbound. McNeil, hook shot won't go, tip twice. Ball still loose, Sosa can't save it. And Marquette with 2:23 to go has the ball back and 35 seconds on the shot clock.
A little freshman mistake or anxiety there. Sosa trying to save a ball that was actually off of Marquette. But you can't, fault him for the hustle.
Opportunity here for Marquette to burn some time off the clock.
As long as they don't put themselves to sleep, which they won't. Yes.
And a travel call. Big turnover there. Hands it back over to Louisville. 16 turnovers for Tom Crean's team.
I always used to say, shooters shoot, passers pass. Don't forget what you do. Fitzy was in a little bit of a in-between mode there.
Character kicks it back out to Smith. Errant pass to Character. Marquette's got it.
And he had just done a great job passing out and reposting. I mean, if he got that pass back, he's underneath the rim.
1:40 to go. Marquette will hold it. Up by 4.
Game of cat and mouse. Don't you love it?
That's the great thing about basketball. This game, it's like a chess match. One coach trying to basically, outfox, outmaneuver the other guy. And then, of course,
just over a minute to go here at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Louisville and Marquette out of the Big East, locked up in a good one. The Cardinals have the ball with now under a minute to go, trailing by 4 in this game.
If you're Louisville, you want to try to get the ball into the hands of Williams and Character. Possibly those two guys on some high screen action.
4 in the shot clock. Blocked by McNeil from behind. Marquette's got it. 35 seconds to go. It's a 2-possession game. McNeil comes up. And the foul on Cubian. Ninth team foul. 31.8 seconds to go.
very, McNeil got away, I think, with one in terms of blocking that shot, not only from behind, but actually across the guy's body.
McNeil 3 of 4 from the charity strike. Misses there. Louisville's got it. It's still an opportunity.
Very much so.
57-53. Smith, the freshman, hits a shot, and it's a 3, and Louisville within 1. Jerry Smith had not scored this entire game, but has come up with 2 tremendous three-point baskets in his hometown.
Talk about cool, calm, collective, and how about the follow-through? Woo! We used to say, take a picture, and he took a picture on that one, a pretty picture.
There you go. 57-56 is our score. There's the foul situation. Any foul, and they'll go to the free throw line, but Louisville out of timeouts. Possession arrow favors the Cardinals, however, if there should be a tie-up.
Well, look for Louisville press with the idea of trying to get a steal or get a 5-second count, and then if they don't, look for them to foul immediately so they can get the ball back, even if they're down by 2 or 3. It's okay. All it takes is one basket to tie it over.
Stay with us. As you can see, coming up next, tune in for more college basketball. Loyola takes on Pepperdine and West Coast Conference showdown. The lines and the waves immediately following our game.
Now, in this situation here, Louisville loves to come at you man-to-man. Sometimes what they'll do is take the man off the ball, looking to possibly get a steal on a pass in bounds, and then looking for the foul immediately. Let's see what they do.
20.1 seconds to go. Smith has scored the last 6 Louisville points off those 3-pointers.
And they've taken the man off the ball. Fitzgerald's man is off the ball, and they'll face guard the 2 inbound guards, and they'll look to switch if they screen for each other. Now that's a great foul because no time went off the clock.
Earl Clark on the foul. You're absolutely right. No time off the clock, so Marquette goes to the free throw line, leading by only a point.
That was option C. I forgot to mention that. Foul off the ball with no time off the clock.
So there's option C now.
Oh, there are, yes. With Rick Pitino, there's probably a D somewhere in there.
Matthews is 73% shooter, perfect at the line tonight. Misses the first.
So you're on the road. Let's say he makes it, and you're down by 2. Well, you want to try and drive that ball, and you want to get as close as you can. You'll take a 2, but you know what? You're on the road. You might want to even go for the win here. Penetrate and kick.
Will Scott into Louisville's lineup.
And if you're going to penetrate and kick, you know who would be the guy that you want to be looking for right now is the hometown guy, number 34, Smith.
That's right. Second free throw good. 2-point lead for Marquette. Sosa drive, ties the game with 11.5 seconds to go. Little burst of speed, saw an opening, and drives in for the layup.
That high
we
screen,
are tied.
that high screen we talked about, that's what the setup was. The idea was, okay, we come off the screen. If we can get to the basket, we go to the basket. If somebody helps, we kick, and we look for the 3. But this time, he went all the way and scored the layup. See it again right here, the drive, the lack of help, and the layup.
Sosa with 15 points to lead the Cardinals in scoring here tonight. And now it's Tom Crean's turn to set up the potential game winner. And Rick Pitino's defense has to be set. He went with a smaller, quicker lineup and inserted Clark on defense. And he'll stick with that lineup. His character stays on the bench.
Great production tonight out of 2 freshmen, Sosa and Character, combined for 29. I'll tell you, you got to love this game.
Loyola Marymount and Pepperdine just underway. We'll be joining them when this one's over, but it ain't over yet, folks. Tied up at 58. And on the inbounds, Cubian calls another timeout. Good pressure by Louisville.
Defense that time, man-to-man, took the man off the ball, put him in a position where he could look for possibly a steal, but you're protecting yourself. We used to call that the safety position.
Now, Rick Pitino this week was talking about the Big East Conference, you know, saying as big as it is, 16 teams, it's more like a corporation. And anytime you have a corporation this large, you have to have many rivalries, and inside every corporation, there are little pockets that you deal with. This is a great little pocket and mini rivalry we've got going down here to the final seconds.
Well, you're absolutely correct. I mean, how much better can it get than Louisville, Pitino coming in to play Marquette, Crean, just about 19,000 people, 2 great coaches who are very, very much almost mirror each other. I mean, their teams, you wouldn't know which team. If you switch jerseys, you wouldn't know who they were.
And youth is being served by both teams
by
here
both
tonight.
teams. This way, you wish you had like about a 23-year-old rule, or you got a graduate rule. How good would both these teams be?
Boy, oh boy. Marquette gets it in. Here comes James. Tie ball game. 6 seconds. James draws the foul before the shot with 5.5 seconds to go. And Jerry Smith commits the foul. That's his 3rd. James to the free throw line. James tonight a quiet night. 8 points, 2 of 4 from the free throw line.
I must say this, the officiating has been very consistent. You know, there are a lot of guys that they wouldn't have called anything. But these guys, to their credit, have called what they have seen. Not that we agree all the time, or at least not that I agree all the time, but they've called what they've seen the whole night, including that last possession.
James misses the first. He needs one to put Marquette up with 5.5 to go. Can he break the tie? He does. Marquette up 59-58. Louisville does not have any timeouts. Defensive replacements for Marquette.
With this much time left, you could drive all the way and score left. So there's plenty of time left in the game if you get it in cleanly.
Clark will inbound. Sosa's got it. 2 seconds. Pass to Smith. Game winner on the way. Got it! And Louisville tops Marquette. Jerry Smith hits another three. His third of the half. And the officials will gather and take a look at this.
Well, what they're going to see is that ball went in before the buzzer, before the light, before anything. That's a good basket, I guarantee you.
What a dream for Jerry Smith to return to his hometown and do this kind of damage here in the final 3 minutes. Oh yeah, yes. He got it off.
He sure did.
Unbelievable.
And all he's been talking about is this trip home. What a homecoming.
Jerry Smith, locally from Wauwatosa East High School, the school's all-time leading scorer. And you know why? A lot of schools, including Wisconsin, Marquette, Iowa, Tennessee, all after this guy.
Oh boy.
But he left the state, but came back to do his damage.
Did he ever? You remember at the end, on that, a couple of seconds ago, we were saying if you're going to run a play and get a three, this is the guy we want to shoot it, huh?
Boy, oh boy.
I think he'll be watching that replay later tonight.
And we are still waiting for the officials to confirm what we believe is a Louisville win and a second road win over a top 15 team this week. They did it at Pittsburgh on Monday, and they appear to have done it here at the Bradley Center against 13th ranked Marquette. Here's another look. Sosa's calm here. He finds his guy.
Yeah, I thought he might have taken a little bit too much time.
And it is official.
It sure is.
It is a Louisville win. And they celebrate on the road for the second time this week. This time they defeat Marquette 61-59 as Jerry Smith, the true freshman out of Wauwatosa, hits a long three with Louisville trailing by a point to win it 61-59. My, oh my, what a game we have seen tonight in the Big East as Louisville takes sole possession of third place with a 61-59 win over Marquette. College basketball action continues next. Loyola Marymount takes on Pepperdine. For Mike Jarvis and our entire ESPNU crew, I'm Frank Kashan. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. The proceeding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now let's send you to Clay Matvick.